Hello everybody and welcome back, and the party are in the Caratoba lair. They have just wound their way through half a mile of rotted, fetid, slime encrusted subterranean tunnels, and they have gotten to here. Stephen is holding the lamp. Malin is now too weak to hold the lamp because he has been cursed with a ring of weakness. Donard could remove the curse with the scroll that he has, but he is not going to. And if you saw last session, you will know why. It's a punishment for waywardness and putting the party in danger. So they make their way along here slowly, and they come to a crossroads. I think this session is going to be much like the subterranean caverns underneath the horror on the hill, because we will have lots of left-right decisions to make, and we've come across one already. So it's 1 to 3 left, 4 to 6 right. Normally we have 5 party members, which means the decision has to have some kind of majority. We have 6, so let's see if we get a split decision. And we don't. Most people decide go left, and that is the kind of sensible track to take anyway, because the party know where the temple is, they know where the central Caratoba lair is, and so they were able to judge from the hole that they entered. They would have to indeed go northwest. So they come up to another wide area here, and they are in fact at a crossroads. One tunnel leads backwards. They might forget about that one. One tunnel is the one they came from, so they have north or south to go. But let's roll for a wandering monster. They get one. Right, okay. There's a choice of 3. You have ochre jellies, carrion crawlers, or slimes. So it's 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. And it is carrion crawlers. Right, it's 2 carrion crawlers, I will say. In the last session, I completely forgot carrion crawlers. They have to make 8 attack rolls before you make your paralysis rolls. Okay, well let's roll for initiative. And they get initiative. So there's 1 on Donard, there's 1 on Carrick, and let's see how many they can hit. They have a THACO of 16, so they need an 18 to hit Donard and 17 to hit Carrick. Let's do Donard first. It's 2 misses, 4 misses, 1 hit. Right, Donard gets hit once. Can he make his saving throw? Oh no, and he completely fails to. Okay, do they hit Carrick? Yes, that's 1 hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. 4. He has to make 4 saving throws. And he makes 2. And he makes all of them. That's a 6. His saving throw versus paralysis is 8. And I am using the system where you can add 2 bonus for strength score. So yes, nice one. So it's our go. Right. I think, right, Stephen's going to have to put down the lamp or else fight with no shield. I think he's going to, we'll see how it goes. We're going to do missiles first. Liz is going to shoot an arrow. Oh, she hits Donard in the back of the head for either 2 points or 1 point. If it's 50% or less, it's 1 point. Yes, so Donard is down to 40 points. Right. Okay, and that's another arrow gone. Sylvia is going to use her sword. No, it's magic. And of course we have Malin with magic missile. And he throws 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12, and he takes down 1 carrion crawler with a magic missile. Right, let's do our dwarf. And he fumbles. Right, we've got 2 people on swords. Let's do Sylvia, who does hit. She has a sword plus 2, but she doesn't have any training or anything, so she does 6 damage. It's down to 6. And let's do Stephen, who misses. That was round number 1. round number 2. We get initiative. I'm going to say this thing is dead, but let's do melee. We're going to ignore missiles. We have to save them. And Carrick not only hits, but chops off at least 7 of those tentacles. Right, we have to sit here and wait for Donard to come out of his paralysis. There is a time given. Let's refresh our memories on that one. Right, it's 2d4, and it's 2d4 turns. That seems ridiculously long, but never mind. 6, that's 1 hour. We have to wait. Okay, well, let's wait the 1 hour. And that is a bit more of our lamp oil going to waste. In Donard's absence, we're going to roll for whether we go north or south. So it's 1 to 3 is north, 4 to 6 is south. Carrick, Liz and Stephen want to go south. Okay, so this is where we head next when Donard comes out of his paralysis. Right, so with Donard awakened, the party moved down to here. And they come to another crossroads, well, a T-junction. There is a northwest and a southward. Let's roll for 1 to 3 northwest. Or 4 to 6 southward, and this is a split decision. So we'll have another roll. And this is more for northwest, with Carrick and Malin not getting their preference for going southward. So the party move up slightly further and come to another T-junction. One goes southwest, one goes northward. So we're going to roll for another decision. And that's a split decision. 1 to 3 is northward, should have said. And it's almost unanimous for northward. Donard does not think that's a good idea. I think he might be right. And they move up into an open chamber. There are 2 other exits. One is northward, one is southeast. And Carrick thinks that they're going round in a circle. He is partially correct. Does he think enough to realise that this way leads back to here? Well, if he throws a 1 or a 2, he is disorientated and has lost his bearings. If he throws a 3 to 6, then yeah, he realises these passages will join up. And he does indeed realise that. Now what will the party do? Will they decide to go ahead and make that connection, or will they just go southward? Now whilst they are debating, they're not really looking at the ceiling. They will probably have to, but there's a hole in the ceiling and through it comes a carrion crawler. Goody. They've become one of my favourite dungeon crawling monsters. This one is a set encounter. There are several of them throughout the book. Throughout this cavern, certain parts are marked with letters to tell you here is a monster. Okay, so let's roll for surprise since this one is on the ceiling. And it does get surprise. Right, so it will pick somebody to drop on. Who does it choose? Whoever rolls the lowest. Oh dear, it picks our mage. Right, this is revenge for the library last time. So it has to make 8 attack rolls on Malin, whose AC is only 8. He has a ring of protection +1. So with a THAC0 of 16, it just needs to roll an 8 or more. And it hits once. It hits 3 times. 4, 5 times. Can he make 5 saving throws versus paralysis? That's a 6 and a 9. No, he can't. Remember, I'm using a system where you can add your strength bonus to your paralysis, or in his case, a penalty, and he's wearing the ring of weakness. So he would need to roll an 11, but because of his strength of 8, he needs to roll 12. But Because of his current situation, he needs to roll a 14. So he is paralyzed. Now that was the surprise round. Let's roll for initiative. And it gets initiative. It will turn upon somebody else, as is their wont. And it chooses Sylvia. Sylvia's armor class with a bow is 3, so it needs to throw 13 or more. And that's 2 misses, 1 hit, 2 hits. 2 hits. Can she make 2 saving throws? She has no strength bonuses. A 4 and a 2. No, those are dreadful saves. She misses twice, so she is paralyzed. It's our go. Right, Stephen is holding the lamp with the sword. I need to declare that. I can't just decide what is he doing before combat. So he is currently without his shield. So I will do Donard and Carrick first. Donard hits and does 8 damage. Carrion Crawler is down to 4 HP. Sorry, it helps if you throw the right dice. Carrick does enough to hit and kill it. So we just have to wait for our 2 spellcasters to come out of paralysis in 40 minutes. That's a lot of time. Carrick, while they're waiting, is just going to poke his nose around this corner to see if indeed these tunnels do line up. And they do. Moreover, there's a small statue here, and it is of an Hutakan priest with his mouth open. Does he feel like going up to it out of curiosity? Well, he can see it with the infravision. No, he's quite happy not to. He's not here to look at statues. He is here to kill this Karatoba. So after 40 minutes, we've got one exit here, or we can go back and check out this one. They both lead roughly southward, southeastish. Which one shall we choose? The western one or the eastern one? I'll do 1, 2, 3 for the eastern one. And it is another split decision. I think Donard's getting fed up with these split decisions. He might tell Stephen, you're not involved with these. We need a consensus. Yeah, and that's what Donard is going to say. He's going to say to Stephen, do you mind if you set this one out? You know. Well, and after all of that, they all unanimously decide to go down this way, back where they came. And the tunnel leads southward, and they come to another junction. Now with the light of their lantern, they can see several different ways to go. They can continue southwest, or they can go southeast to another junction. Will they have enough sense of direction to know that this is where they should be going? I have nominated Carrick as the one with the underground sense of direction. And I will do that again. So if he rolls a 1 or a 2, he's going to shrug and offer no suggestions. Yep, and he does. So the party are really quite lost. So they can go here or here. I will do 1 to 3 to continue southwest. 4 to 6, they try this junction. Again, it's a split decision. They really are at odds with each other. Okay, that's a bit more unanimous, and they decide to walk around this corner here. And what awaits them when they get round the corner? As the party round the corner, remember they're going at a rate of 60 feet every 10 minutes. The lamplight gets cast on the floor, and there seems to be a really dark black pond or puddle here. Stephen moves over towards it, and as he shines the lamp over what he thinks is the surface of the pond, it just remains completely black. He holds the lamp lower, and the light dies as soon as it hits the surface of whatever this darkness is. What a strange, odd phenomenon. This is just a pit of continual darkness. It's not that deep, but they're not going to test that. I suppose any party could test it if they wanted to by lowering somebody in by a rope, but it's only about 10 to 20 feet deep. So they come round here and they come to a dead end. And our dwarf does well with his orientation, and he realises that this ought to have led into, well, somewhere close to the Caratoba's pit, which they have seen from this viewing platform. So let's look for secret doors. How long are we going to spend here? Well, nothing for the first 10 minutes. We'll have everybody look. They clamber around this area. And it is Liz that finds one. She just stands back and says, well, of course it would be me. The secret door really isn't that secret. It's not something that's been contrived as secret. It's just the rock wall has closed over and they push it open. And they find themselves in the large pit where they saw Golthar, and when they look above, they can see that continual black circle, which was the darkness of the pit with the cage. Now there is a passageway on the other side, which, much like this one, had a rock door, but that door has been propped open, so it is not a secret door anymore. They are wading ankle deep through the sludge here. This is enough to make them sick. And I will read a little bit from the book. The rough-hewn passage meanders off into blackness. All is quiet, save for the steady drip of water, yet it seems as though something is lurking just on the edge of the dark. A hideous, slithering noise echoes from the walls, and an eerie chill runs its icy fingers down your spine. What more could you want as a player? Right, well, let's make a west or east decision. 1 to 3 is west. And indeed we do have a majority decision this time, and we creep around the corner and we come to another junction, north or west. And it is west. We come to a crossroads. I suppose there's one that goes northwest, one that goes southwest, and one that goes due south. I will do the usual three-way split for making a decision for where to go next. And it seems that the northwest passage gets the majority of the votes. So the party creep along here, and they come to another junction. They can go west, north, and I'll do 1 to 3 for west, 4 to 6 for north. And we have a split decision again. We'll do one more roll. And that is 1 to 3, which I believe was west. Oh, I've forgotten. They decided to go west. Or did I say 1 to 3 north? I'm going to have to stop and rewind and work out what I said was 1 to 3. I've forgotten. Okay. Right, as the party continues southward, the tunnel twists and turns, and they can see three ways in the lamplight. They can see it due south, due east, and a sort of southeastish one. Now the lamplight flickers and goes out, and it's up to Carrick and Sylvia with infravision to get another flask of oil, fill the lamp up, and relight it with a tinderbox. This is more a sign of how long they have been here, and it is getting into the evening. They feel tired. Walking in this slow pace through all this sludge, it isn't doing them any good. Now one thing they have noticed is that the slime in this area is largely dried up. The Caratoba has been through here, but not for some time. The smell is still pretty rank. They can't get away from that. But the party begin to think that this might be the best place to try and find somewhere to rest. If there's a dead end, They have slept overnight in subterranean tunnels before. These two ways look drier, and they're going to go 1 to 3, 4 to 6 to choose one. And they choose this one. Now, does Carrick detect any natural constructions? And he does. He knows they are going underground. They go deeper underneath and twist and turn again. So after another 20 minutes, they find themselves at another crossroads. Will they go north or west or east? And this time, they wait for the dwarf to catch up and make the decider. Okay, so that's a split decision. And it's another split decision. Again, Donard says to Stephen, "You don't mind if we take over on this one?" And they make it northward into this little alcove where they are going to rest for the night. Donard is going to rework his spells. But what they are going to do, they realize this is a good place to rest for the night, but they want to check out the rest of the place to make sure it's clear and there is nothing just lurking around the corner that will get them in their sleep. So before bedtime, they decide to go here, and maybe it was the biggest mistake of their life, because here is a statue of an Hutakan priest in all his or her robed glory, standing beside the statue, caked in slime, with his skin partially falling off, his gums largely rotted away, and some of his teeth missing, is Gothar with mad staring eyes, and beside him is an ogre jelly, and he is stroking the ogre jelly much like the way you might stroke the forehead of a dog or a cat. Indeed, this ogre jelly is missing a diamond collar, that's all. This is not in the book, but I'm going to say the Caratoba has some kind of psychic abilities. So when it discovered Gothar, it looked into his mind and it liked what it saw there, and it decided to use him. And in some ways, the jellies are under the control of the Caratoba, so that's why this one is a sort of guardian or a pet. Gothar has been driven mad by all the images that Caratoba has shown him. And I would also say that has been passed on to the undead, so any of the undead which get eaten by the Caratoba and spat out the other end have retained some kind of psychic abilities, hence the fact that they can control or be controlled by other undead. We didn't use Liz to creep forward and hide in the shadows, that's our mistake, so let's roll for surprise. He gets surprise. This gives him a chance to cast a spell, and he is going to cast Shield. And it also gives the Ogre Jelly, I will look at what speed they move at. Oh, they move very, very slowly, to move forward and to stand between us and Gothar. Round number 1. This is the Showdown. And he gets initiative. Right. So I have to declare actions. Malin is going to cast Shield. Liz and Sylvia are going to shoot. Stephen, Carrick and Donard are in the front line. So it's spells first for him. And Gothar is going to cast Magic Missile on Malin. And he does 16 damage. Malin is down to 1 HP. Malin's own shield has not gone off. The Ogre Jelly is going to target either Stephen, Donard or Carrick. And it chooses Stephen. It does 2d6 damage. And that's an 8. Stephen is down to 18. Our go. Spells. Malin has been interrupted. Donard did not declare he would cast a spell. We're on to missiles. We're on to Liz, who misses. We're on to Sylvia, who hits. Now Golthar has got quite a good AC against missiles. His dexterity is 18, so he has a natural -3. He's just cast shield, so his AC is 2, minus the 3 is -1. He's also got a ring of protection +2, so his AC against missiles is -3. However, Sylvia, +2 for training, +1 for her bow, does 8 damage. He's down to 9. We have encountered ogre jellies before, and we know they can only be damaged by fire and cold. So all the boys can do is light a torch from the lantern and get a flask of oil ready. Round number 2. And it's mutual. Spells. Golthar is going to cast Mirror Image. And there's one extra version of him. The ogre jelly is going to have another go at Stephen. Oh my god, you know, I didn't roll a 2-hit roll. I'm going to have to do that last fight again. I keep forgetting to roll hit dice. The ogre jelly has a THAC0 of 15. Did it even hit Stephen the first time? It didn't. So it didn't hit Stephen. He didn't lose those points. He's back up to 26. What about this time? That hits AC 1. He's fanning around with torches. His AC without his shield is 1. So yes, he does get hit. And he does get taken 6 damage. He's down to 20. That's their go. Our go. Liz. Golthar, as I've said, has a -3 AC against missiles. She manages to hit and takes 3 points off him. He's down to 6. He's not. That's his mirror image gone. Sylvia. Does she hit -3? Her missile THAC0 is 14. She hits -2. No, that's a miss. Right, melee. We're going to throw a flask of oil and a torch onto this jelly, and it will burn for 2 rounds. If we can't miss it, this thing is at our feet. So let's just roll for the first round of damage. That's 6. It's down to 12. Now Malin hightailed it out of there round the corner. Okay, so it's round number 3. And they get initiative. I will do the ogre jelly first on Stephen. And it completely misses him. What's Golthar's next trick? He's going to cast web on the 3 frontliners. It says a person of average strength from 9 to 12 will break through the web in 2d4 rounds. Our team are stronger than that. Somebody with an ogre strength can do it in 4. I'm going to do 1d6. Right, so Donard can get through in 3 rounds, Stephen in 4, and Carrick in 5. That's their go. Our go, missiles. Liz is going to try another shot at Golthar. She misses completely. Spells. Sylvia is going to fire a fireball. And she does 5d6. And she's going to aim it here. So it catches Golthar, the jelly, but not the boys in the web. Or so she hopes. 5d6. And it does 18 damage. It kills the jelly. It kills Golthar. And I'm going to give her 50-50 chance that she succeeded with her ranging. So if she scores 50 or less, she did cast the fireball just out of range of the 3 guys caught in the web. However, if she doesn't, then they get crisped as well. And she does a 44. Okay, right. So the web's going to run its course. Golthar has been blitzed in a fireball. It's over. He's finally dead. As he burst into flames, he did a maniacal laugh with hands like this. Ha ha. Let's see what remains of Golthar after the fireball. Now, will his spellbook have remained? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say his spellbook got crisped. He's got throwing daggers. They will survive. A ring of protection +2. That will survive. we are a bit more cautious about magic rings. We'll take it anyway as treasure. 5,000 gold's worth of gems. Nice. A spell book, which I'm going to say has been rendered useless. There you go. And that is the end of Golthar. Okay, well, I will see you all next time, and we'll finish off this Karatoba. See you then.